Great Scott! That certainly is one buff parasite.
I think I'm gonna spew. But who'll notice? Man, that thing is ugly.
It's a tapeworm. He seems to be lazily grazing in the valley of the villi. Impressive. The tapeworm suddenly becomes much more animated. Please remember to keep your arms and legs on the worm at all times. Yow! Now that's a ride you won't take in the Magic Kingdom. This is the appendix. It's a strange piece of the humanoid anatomy considered by some medical types to be fairly useless. It may not be useful, but it does seem to collect some strange stuff. It's a fingernail, complete with paint. These have a knack for making it down here. Suddenly, you wonder when Stellar grew such long nails. Perhaps you haven't been thinking of Stellar as a woman as much as a crewmate. You feel an interesting longing. One look at your surroundings kills that feeling fast. But maybe after this is all over. You snap off a shard of fingernail and gingerly introduce it into your pocket. It looks like an old silver amalgam filling. Must have been bouncing around here for years. You pull away a cracked piece of the filling. Talk about hard currency, the Buckazoid has proven itself once again. This is even one of the old-style ones. Might be worth some money. Too bad you can't carry it. How does she get this stuff into her digestive system? That's a screw Stellar probably doesn't remember. It's a fingernail. Suddenly, you wonder when Stellar grew such long nails. Perhaps you haven't been thinking of Stellar as a woman as much as a crewmate. You feel an interest. One look at your... This seems to be a sludge of rather heavy and not-so-digestible items. Sludge reminds you of your old nemesis. Well, you finished him off, but he still causes you to change your clothing more than the average person. It's a relatively unscathed paperclip. You carefully, very carefully, stow the paperclip in your pocket. This is the appendix. It's a strange piece of... It may not be... So you like the worm, huh? You like to ride the worm, huh? I let you ride the worm. Although the
This heat tile looks loose. Whoops. I have to stop doing that.
Your stolen miniaturized shuttle has become mired on the fundus of the stomach like a beached whale.
Oh, that looks real nice.
Your stolen miniature... Although the concept of rubbing silver particles all over the shuttle is interesting, quit boinking the fuel tank light. That's an You neatly replace the EVA suit in its proper place. It's the subroutine program disk the doctor gave you to be able to navigate through Stellar's body. It would appear that merging those two items... That's delightfully non-helpful. You summon... You slice away with the nail and, amazingly enough, manage to cut a slice in the barrier. It's the old gray matter itself, our friend, the brain. At least some of us are familiar with it. I don't remember seeing you at the meetings. For some reason, you're drawing a complete blank on information regarding the brain.
Yikes. How am I supposed to jump across this one? Man, that was close. Holy captain's log, Batman. There are a few more of those nanites here. How am I going to handle this one?
This Those are the gallstones you collected as souvenirs from Stellar's common bile duct. You chuck a gallstone at one of the robots, causing it to think the other one did it. You chuck another gallstone, this time at the other robot, who also thinks the other one did it. That was quite effective. That was very impressive, Roger. I'll bet that's not something you hear every decade. Nice mood lighting. Nice mood lighting. It's an elevator built by the nanites to help gain access to the interior of the brain. Yuck! It's a recently constructed shaft between the hemispheres of Stellar's brain.
So this is the motor control center. Interesting. The sign says this is Stellar's cough control center.
Excellent guess, Kreskin. Wrong. This is strange looking. Used pieces of nanite hardware as well as some stuff that looks vaguely like mining equipment litter the area.
Ugh! Ah! Even in this suit, that hurts like a... Jeez. What's going on here? And what's with that big robot?
Well, well, Mr. Wilco. I must confess to being impressed that you made it this far. You are either a very lucky man, or the classic case of how looks can be deceiving. From what I know of your history, I can't say that in this case looks are necessarily deceiving. On the other hand, I don't think luck accounts for it all either. There's definitely something different about you, Mr. Wilco. It's a pity, though. I'm afraid this is where the odds catch up with you, Roger. I do hope you don't mind me referring to you as Roger. I feel we can both be on a first-name basis now, since we will soon be sharing such intimate moments. My rebirth and your death. Not necessarily in that order. I'll attend to you in a moment. I have a few more little details to finish before I transfer my consciousness into this body. Enjoy it, Roger. It'll be among the very last of your memories. Oh, and by the way, escape attempts will prove to be futile. You will be incinerated if necessary.
Jeez, what a bit...
I'm sorry. What was that you were saying?
Me? I was saying, what a bite. Yeah, I had a little trouble with some parasites a while ago down in the digestive tract. That's all it was.
Wow, that was actually a great idea. Go figure.
Yeah, I kicked her butt. Just look at me. MacGyver wishes he could be me. It was bound to happen. The never-ending battle between good and evil was once again waged, and once again, good has emerged victorious. Yes, and with me on its side, how could it lose? Yes. Once again, I have struck a blow for good over evil. It was in a... Hey! Ah! What? But I thought I took care of you.
Well, it appears you thought wrong now, doesn't it, Roger? Wilco, I haven't survived this long without taking precautions. The robot was just hardware. My mind still exists.
Oh, real wonderful. Ooh! Ah! Hey, watch those tentacles, lady. I thought that being partially embedded in the street on polysorbate was a strange feeling.
Fish, that's brain food.
All right. She actually chowed down on that rancid fish. I thought I'd never get rid of that fish.
Nice shot!
Oh, there you are, Wilco.
Boy, Stellar, with all that's happened recently, I never would have imagined that we'd be standing here together.
It is a miracle, Roger. I was afraid that by the time you got my message it would be too late. I was certain I was doomed. But you didn't let me down. What you did was incredibly brave, Roger, not to mention intensely risky. It took Dr. Bellows a lot of work to clean up after you and Sharpay. I must say, Roger, there's not a man in the universe who knows me inside the way you do.
It was a strange feeling, but I went in there all business. There wasn't a moment I wasn't thinking of your welfare.
Oh, give me a break. Let me put my boots on. It's getting deep in here.
Cheese it, pal, or I'll rip out your larynx and you won't be able to get a job doing bad voiceover work for Chinese action pictures.
What did you say, Roger?
Oh, I was just mumbling to myself. You know, Stellar, there's one thing I noticed while inside you I thought I might share.
And what's that, Roger?
You eat like a goat. You really have to change your eating habits, Stellar. I saw some things in your digestive tract I wouldn't wish on Sludge Vohall. You really have to clean up your consumption act.
Yes, I know. Dr. Bellows said he was able to fix most everything done to me during Sharpay's invasion, as well as patching an ulcer that was playing havoc with my stomach. He told me the same things.
You might also try chewing. You had a hunk of twinkoid wedged in your throat that would have gagged a Linda Lovelace.
Okay, Roger, okay, I got the message. Let's change the subject, shall we? Ask me where I'm stationed next.
Why don't you just tell me?
Boy, some fun you are.
Sorry, I guess I'm a little grumpy. I had a real day. I had to clean the captain's log entry container. Then somebody got a nice buzz in 8 Rear and decided to take a wormhole ride in the Hollow Suite. They hit a few wrong buttons, and the next thing I know, I'm cleaning Virgon Nebula sets and hors d'oeuvres off every wall and ceiling. Apparently, they truly did make the room spin. Boy, they spackled everything. Had to use the putty knife to chip loose some of the chunks of...
Roger, I'm sorry you had a rough day, but can we please change the subject?
Oh, sorry.
Anyway, I think you're gonna like your next assignment.
Really? What is it? Where is it?
Sorry, you're just gonna have to wait to find out.
As Roger and Stellar warp off into the nebula set, many questions remain. Will Roger and Stellar become an item? How will Beatrice Wankmeister react when she hears about this new friend in Roger's life? Will Roger's voice be a few octaves higher as a result? Would they dare to make another one of these things? Only time and money will tell.
I've been up to my lips in urinal pucks lately. I hope it's something different. Who wrote this crap? Oh, yeah, Scott. Yeah, well, yeah, then good work. Did you hear about the animator who killed himself? Yeah, he couldn't draw his own breath.
These, by the way, are the credits. They're called credits because, well, we can't afford to really pay anybody until more people buy the game. All these people worked on this dumb game?